Cincinnati is home to 52 different neighborhoods, and picking the wrong one could cost you time and money. In this video, I'm breaking down the best areas for the top rated schools, affordability, the quickest commutes, and at the end, I'm going to share a tip that I think could help you find the perfect match before you even begin searching on Zillow. My name is Evan. I'm a local Cincinnati realtor, and I make videos all about the Cincinnati real estate market. So if that's something you're interested in, consider subscribing to be the first to know about what's coming and what's happening in the Cincinnati real estate market. But let's get into the video and let's talk about how to find the perfect neighborhood for you in Cincinnati. So first things first, like I mentioned, Cincinnati does have 52 different neighborhoods. However, many people choose to live in northern Kentucky if they're working in Cincinnati. And also, you have areas just outside of Hamilton County in the Cincinnati area, but still technically a part of the greater Cincinnati area, like Mason, for example, which is located up north. And you have other places like even Milford. So you have some areas in the surrounding areas of Cincinnati that are also very common for people to live. So it is very important to be able to narrow this down because choosing from two different states and multiple counties can be overwhelming. So let's start off with schools. If you are prioritizing a good school district here when you move to Cincinnati, whether you're already here or you're moving from somewhere else, the good news is there are a lot of great schools up here in Cincinnati. In northern Kentucky, in places like Union and Florence, you have school districts like Boone County School District, and even Kenton County is a top 30 rated school district in the entire state of Kentucky. And Beechwood and Fort Thomas also regularly have high rated schools in the northern Kentucky and the entire state of Kentucky area. So northern Kentucky has a lot of highly rated schools, but if you're looking on the Ohio side, don't worry, there's still some highly rated schools in the Ohio side as well. You have school districts like Mariemont City Schools, Mason City Schools, Sycamore, just to name a few. I definitely left some out. And there's even some highly rated private schools like Summit Country Day as well. There's a lot of awesome school districts up here, which is a huge plus for families moving to the area. If you're interested in checking some of those out, I would recommend checking out niche.com. They have ratings for all the school systems and reviews as well. And I think that's a great tool for families. All right, so after schools, let's talk about if you're someone who is interested in new construction. Here are some common areas to find either new development, new constructions, or new construction communities where the home's already been built and somebody might be selling it. So if that's something you're after, I mentioned Union already. Union is home to the Ballyshannon and also the Triple Crown neighborhoods, which are two new construction neighborhoods by Fisher Homes, which is a big builder up in this area. Now, like I said, a lot of those homes have already been built. So if you're looking for a home that's newer, but you don't have to wait for it to be built, that's definitely an area I would recommend checking out on the northern Kentucky side. Now, when you get to the Cincinnati side, inside of the 275 loop, it will definitely be harder to find areas for new construction unless you are going to tear down a home or if you're able to find some land, but it's going to be limited. So outside of the 275 loop is a lot more common for new construction. So I know I've already mentioned Mason a couple of times, but there's a lot of opportunities for new construction in Mason. Again, it's up more north, but a lot of people that move here to work for companies like Kroger and Procter & Gamble and even Great American do choose to live up in Mason. It's very family oriented, it's growing a lot, but you still have access to Cincinnati. Now I will say, if you're planning on doing a daily commute to downtown Cincinnati from Mason, you can expect to possibly drive even an hour with traffic, especially if you're taking I-75 at like 8 in the morning. There's going to be a lot of traffic. Now, obviously, like any city, the closer you get to the city itself and downtown, the more you're going to pay. And so in Cincinnati's case, that's really going to be inside of that 275 loop where you have places like Madeira and Oakley and Hyde Park, for example. And even on the east side, places like Anderson Township and Coldstream, which is another smaller subdivision really inside of Anderson Township, and East Walnut Hills. Those are all areas where you are going to pay more and get less for your dollar than if you venture out further away from the city. Also, those places inside that 275 loop, like Madeira, like Mariemont, and even places like Fort Thomas and Fort Mitchell in the northern Kentucky side, are typically going to have homes that are older. In Cincinnati, it's not uncommon to find homes built in the early 1900s. Even in areas like Columbia, Tusculum on the east side, I've been in homes that were built in the 1880s. And however, the homes I were in, they were very well taken care of. So it's not necessarily something you need to run from, but it is a note that homes in that area are going to be a lot older, and it's a lot of them may not be as old as the early 1900s or late 1800s, but expect to see a lot of homes in those areas built in the 1950s or 60s or so. Now, as far as affordability goes, I know I mentioned outside of the 275 loop, but also you can look on the west side of Cincinnati. So you have places like Cheviot and Delhi and Price Hill, all on the west side of Cincinnati. Those are definitely going to be more affordable than kind of the central inside 275 loop and on the east side. And also as you go more north. Now, Cheviot is also kind of north, it's like northwest, but you have some places that are more centrally located, just a little north of the city. Those places being like a Finneytown, for example, or even a Mount Healthy. Those places are going to be more affordable than some of the other places I mentioned earlier, like your Mariemont, like your Anderson Township, even more affordable than Mason, even though Mason is pretty far north. It is a very highly desirable area, and so the home prices do tend to reflect that. And if you stuck around this far in the video, then thank you. I wanted to give you another bonus tip as you're searching Cincinnati and looking for areas that you would potentially like to live. I highly recommend niche.com, and this is a website where you can look up different neighborhoods and suburbs as well as different school districts. And a lot of times, especially the school districts, there will be real reviews from real people, whether it's parents or students. And if you're looking up a neighborhood, it'll have reviews from people that have lived in that neighborhood or currently live. And so I think it's a really great non-biased website. They have different rankings for everything from most diverse neighborhoods, best neighborhoods to raise a young family, best neighborhoods for young professionals, all of these things. And so I highly recommend it. I use it sometimes in my videos for non-biased research into these different neighborhoods. And another thing I would recommend is looking up the address of the home you're looking at in the auditor's website. So in Hamilton County, which encompasses Cincinnati, you can just type in Hamilton County property search or Hamilton County auditor property search, and it'll pop up. It'll be the first link. You can type in the address and it will tell you exactly how much that home or those homeowners paid for property taxes for the past year. So that can give you a good idea of what to expect in property taxes, which is something that I think goes overlooked. And if you're thinking about making a move to Cincinnati, then some tips I could give you is, number one, obviously, make sure you have your finances in order. So when you go to get pre-approved, they're going to be asking for your pay stubs, your most recent pay stubs, 30 days worth. They're also going to ask for your tax returns, probably for the last 2 years. So those will be some things that you'll want to make sure you have readily available. And I highly recommend being pre-approved before you even start the home buying process. It just makes everything so much smoother in terms of your budget. You know roughly how much your monthly payment will be, and you're ready to act quick. If there's a home that you must have, you're ready to put in an offer and you don't have to wait. So if you need help with any of that, or if you have questions, I'd love to help you out. All of my information will be on the screen and in the description below. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you liked this style of video. I didn't go as in-depth as I do in some of my videos. This is more of a brief overview. If you want some more in-depth information on specific neighborhoods, you can click on this playlist up here, and that will give you more in-depth information on those neighborhoods. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, until next time.